What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. This is getting out of control right now as far as the Sweet Baby Inc. saga, the entire movement that seems to be happening in the video game industry. And now we have Anita Sarkeesian, the person behind the Feminist Frequency company that's working with Game Developer Conference and attending it and having a panel talking about if you've been canceled, they'll talk about how you can be uncanceled if you just buy a ticket and get in. This is what the industry is turning into, and honestly, it's disgusting. Hit the subscribe, give me a like, check out smashjt.com for the full story. I will link this article in the description below. I just got back from the Game On Expo in Phoenix, and I'm exhausted, but holy crap, it was a blast. I'll be making a video talking about my experience there. Eventually, I got all my stuff piled up over there I want to talk about. I know those videos don't ever do well, but it was so much fun that I want to do it anyways. So anyway, for this story, let's talk about what's going on with Anita Sarkeesian. And this is someone who, if you haven't heard of before, she's someone who began a non-profit company called Feminist Frequency that was founded in 2009. And Feminist Frequency has been polarizing, to say the least, attracting both fervent support from people that want that cause to move forward, and then the significant criticism that always comes along with this type of movement. And to be honest, I never really heard of Anita Sarkeesian until recently. I saw this show up on Instagram. It was talked about widely, how she threw a wedding-themed birthday party and posted photos on her Instagram. And sure, I guess if you're into that sort of thing, have at it. I mean, if you're not hurting anyone, it's fine. But someone like Anita Sarkeesian, the more research that I do on them, it just seems like they do this kind of stuff to kick the hornet's nest. They know it's going to get a certain level of backlash, and they look for those types of comments and then point to those as saying, that's why people are awful, we need to fix this. And it's like, well, yeah, that's pretty easy to do if you want to talk about anything controversial. Hell, look at my channel with some of the comments I receive. You could point to those comments and say, man, the gaming community's horrible. Look at this one guy that wrote this one thing about the one thing that I said here, and they're just awful, aka they speak for everyone else, and everyone in the gaming community's awful. But let's be honest, anyone starting a company and calling it Feminist Frequency is looking for trouble. They're looking to pick a fight, and they're looking to point at people and say, those are the problem in society, we're just trying to live our lives, and those awful people are ruining it for us. And it's like, well, yeah, I guess you could say that, but ultimately, this is a business, and she's trying to make money off of it. I don't care if you say it's a non-profit or not, still getting paid. So Sarkeesian entered the gaming industry trying to challenge representation of women in video games because, sure, I guess that's a problem that needed to be addressed because it wasn't doing well enough on its own and people playing the games didn't want to play as women. I don't know about that one. Sounds like a straw man argument for someone who's been playing games their entire lives. I've seen plenty of protagonists and representation of females and everything else in the broad spectrum of gaming that we find ourselves today. It's just kind of wild to try to find a problem that doesn't really exist. She wanted to aim to foster a more inclusive media landscape, and anytime that kind of thing happens, you always have to start raising your eyebrows and question it, because I've learned that the people that want to be more inclusive are the ones making the rules to exclude people. It's ironic how it works, but every single time, that's what it boils down to. And here's the thing. Her work had led to a development of the game's an online harassment hotline and the Culture Shift project in collaboration with Take This. And for those of you who have been watching my videos previously, I did a deep dive on Take This and found out that they were a government-funded organization pushing an agenda for ESG. Yes, that is the reality. And if you can't see that for all the information I put forth in front of you, I can't help you. Just looking at some of the articles from Take This, it's clearly a money garnering system. They're just making things up, complaining about it, and talking to the government saying, hey, we need money to support these causes, to show what an issue gaming is. And ultimately, it's a sham. All of it is a grift. They are using this to make money, making up pretend issues and ignoring ones that might actually pop up because they're so fixated on this stuff. And nobody in their right mind cares about it because they know it's not a problem. They're aimed at addressing gender-based harm in game studios and get paid to run studies on gender-based harm. What the hell is going on right now? If you look at Sarkeesian's game reviews, and by the way, she's even said that she doesn't even really like gaming, but even if you want to take it with what she says, that she reviews these games and says some things don't work or this doesn't make sense, oftentimes she's making stuff up because she doesn't know how the game is supposed to work. Her agenda has nothing to do with games. Games are the avenue to get to the income, and that's all that matters to her. I saw Grums on Twitter post, Cancel Pigs are running a class tomorrow at GDC where you can learn to apologize better after they are done canceling you. Of course, it's run by Feminist Frequency. This panel is called So You've Been Cancelled. Now what? This is the group of people that cancel people, telling you how to handle being canceled by them, and you need to pay for a ticket to get into GDC to find out how to be uncanceled by them. Does anyone else not see what's going on right now? Can someone who has hurt others, even repeatedly, actually change? What comes after the call out? What can someone do if they've been called problematic but aren't totally sure why? Or, after losing friends, jobs, and networks, how does a person move forward if they want to become someone who won't cause that type of harm, even unintentionally again? For the last 2 years, Respec has been talking to people in the games industry who have been called out, confronted, canceled, or fired for wrongdoing, harming others, or crossing boundaries or consent. By balancing compassion and accountability, Respec believes that restoring humanity to the experience of causing harm better fosters long-term change. So this goes back to the whole, oh, you're causing harm. What you did offended me, and because I'm offended, you are now canceled because you are the problem. Me throwing a wedding-themed birthday party is not the issue. It's you that says, hey, that doesn't seem like anything a normal person would do. It's kind of weird. Holy crap, you're fired. How dare you say anything about Anita Sarkeesian or any of these other people doing these random things. You're not allowed to do that because they're living their lives and you're canceled. Society can't accept you into it. Here's how you can get back into being accepted into society. You need to accept the crazy pills. Take them and you can come back and we can allow you in. That's what's happening right now, and I can't take it anymore. According to their About section, Feminist Frequency is a Peabody Award-winning nonprofit dedicated to ending toxicity and abuse in the games industry and gaming spaces at large. Founded in 2009 by Anita Sarkeesian, she challenged harmful media representations and advocated for a more inclusive media landscape. Today, hold on. She advocated for a more inclusive media landscape by saying to people, if you don't accept me, you are canceled and out of this community. Yes, that is exactly what this feminist movement is, if you haven't kept up yet. But it continues. Today, the organization runs the Games and Online Harassment Hotline to provide free, confidential, emotional support to people who make and play games. Feminist Frequency, in partnership with Take This, holy crap, they actually say it in their About section that they are associated with the government-funded scam Take This. So, they admit it there. like it's a good thing. Launched the Culture Shift Project, a robust training program to combat gender-based harm inside of game studios. Based on a foundation of justice, accountability, and care, Feminist Frequency is making games a better place to work and play. Now, I don't want to be like completely negative about Anita Sarkeesian and this Feminist Frequency. I'm sure there may be some fringe level cases where it is necessary to step in, and there could be some overtly obnoxious, ridiculous things being said. That's called like sexual harassment or protected classes or things in the workplace that are there and you can actually like, I don't know, sue because of it. There is really no reason for this movement other than to grift money from the government. And also, it takes the side of feminists. So from their perspective, you are automatically in the wrong if you're a male or if you're someone that is biased towards male. It's apparently fine if you're a female and biased towards female, which kind of goes straight in line with what Sweet Baby Inc. was doing with their gender and ethnicity quotas and what they were trying to squeeze into games based off of what they felt was equal and accountable, not what other people felt. And ultimately, that's what this all comes down to. It's a bias implied with every single one of these companies trying to inject their agenda into gaming for the reason of making money. And the problem ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't even blame Anita for this. It's a good grift she's got going here. The problem comes down to the governments giving money to these organizations and funding them. And until that stops, the grifts and scams are going to just keep on coming. I'm going to leave it there. If you want more information, like I said, check out smashjt.com. I'll have this link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash